So let's look at the human factor. What does it mean in reality that we are a nation of liars and traitors and thieves and cheats and whores and bastards and fools and failures and everything else that a human being can be, terrorists included? And the answer to that is everybody wants what they want. They don't want to be responsible for anything. They want what they want. They want to be rich, which means you want slaves. That's what being rich means. You want slaves to do what you want them to do without paying them, without actually paying them, because money is just money. It's just a number. It's just a tool, unless it's a traitor. And so we end up with the human experience here in this United States is to throw away the world, throw away the nation, throw away life, throw away your child, throw away everything so that you can have what you want. And I've been here for 71 years, and that means that I understand the reality of what you want. I didn't want to believe it in the first place when I was young, but the reality of greed is greed, is greed, is greed, is greed, and that's all you could find. Very, very, very few could climb beyond greed. And the primary cause of that, or the primary door opening to that, was when Reagan got to be president. He didn't know what to do, so he found in the university, somebody from the university said to him, "I can fix it if you let us control the currency." And he did. And so they told him, just sell the gold in Fort Knox and everything will be great, which is exactly what he did and exactly what media covered up, because I tried to tell them and they refused to know. So they knew. They covered it up because they didn't want to pay the price of going back to truth. And only truth survives. That's the foundation law of our universe. Only truth survives. Period. And that does include you. What is a lie will be evicted. So, what you need to do is accept that truth is our future, our choice, our everything. And of course, humanity does not want to do that. They refuse. They want what they want. That's all that they want, and they don't want nothing but what they want, and that's all there is to it. And they don't want to pay, and that's who you are, because that's what you choose. But of course, you can choose other things. You just don't. So we end up with, life and death is based upon what you believe you can get away with. What you believe you can get away with. And you believe you can get away with anything, so long as you don't recognize what is true. So long as you hide from it. So long as you refuse to understand it, refuse to accept it. Then you can't blame me, I'm innocent. You can't blame me, I didn't know. You refuse to know. And you refuse to accept the reality of our lives. And you refuse to do what needs to be done, as is with global warming. It's real. We all know it's real. When the ice fades away and the sea rises, but that's a secondary effect. When the ice fades away from the seas, all of the food that it grows on the underneath side of that ice, which starts the process of life in the ocean because everything feeds on something else. When that goes away, all of the life in the ocean goes away with it. When the ice fades away, that means the planet cannot cool itself, which is exactly what is happening today. The planet cannot cool itself in the summertime because the ice is gone. There was an iceberg fell off Antarctica some little bit of time back, and one of the people I ran into there was just an ice cube, but it was 1,000 miles long and 200 miles wide and 300 feet thick. It's a lot more than an ice cube. And that's because of all the things that you do, all the things that you refuse to stop doing, all the things that you are, that you claim make you innocent because you won't accept the idea that this is real. You won't investigate to prove that it is not real. You won't do anything except to scream, I want what I want, and that's all that I want, and don't tell me nothing else because I don't want to know, because that makes me innocent. Well, it doesn't make you innocent. Any more than 100 million people are added to this earth over deaths each and every year. That's a rough estimate, but it's close, at least according to the numbers that your universities give you, and of course they are the biggest liars of all. Numbers are the biggest liars, and followed enormously close by the people who tell the numbers are and claim they are true. And the media that represents them is true. They just aren't true. There's roughly 100 million more people added to this world every year. That's the fact. At least according to their numbers. And of course, they claim it's a smaller number because they divide it by 100 years, and that just doesn't. That's not real either. You know, delusions and fantasies and imagination, that's what a university is. Cult worship, that's what a university is. Indoctrination of every child to believe that university is God is what university is. University in charge of everything is what university is. And so the end result of that is that you are what university made you. Or you can accept the idea that you are what you chose to be by having to believe what university told you to be. There are endless troubles, but the end result is that we have to accept what is true. We have to accept what is true, and that means that young women in particular are going to have to accept the fact that you can't have children until you're 30 years old. You can't have more than one child, or certainly not more than two. That's just how it is. It's not a choice. It's not a choice for you. It's not a choice for anyone else. I understand big families are nice if you can afford them. I understand that you want what you want, but that's just not what the world is today. You made that choice, and over the last 50 years the population of this planet doubled, and it can't continue to double or the earth will die. That's just how it is, and then when the earth dies, that means your children will be eaten. That's not a game. That's not an exaggeration. There will be nothing else left. Take a look around you, and I know that there is very little of what used to be here. Very little of life, because you tore it all apart. You tore it all apart. And, you know, I'm not completely innocent of that. Suddenly everything was gone. And I didn't realize it until everything was gone. And of course, once everything is gone, you can't really bring it back. Not really. You can just do the best you can do, and that's all you can do. So anyway, you're going to have to accept that young women, because you are the ones that make babies. Men cannot make a single baby. You are the ones who make the babies. You are the ones who create new life on earth. Women are in charge of birth control. Simple as that. It's nobody else. Women are in charge of birth control. Period. End of the story. And men have to accept that, and men have to pay them for getting an IUD or something similar to that installed. An IUD, because it has been in the process of human use for 100 years. It is well known. You put it in, it's good for 10 years or whatever, and it's reversible. And it is a reality of life that should be used, because it doesn't require any memories. It is just there, and you don't get pregnant until you want to get pregnant, and so on and so forth. And the doctors will fight that, and the pharmacies will fight that, and media will fight that, and everything about human society will fight that, because they want what they want. And if you don't have birth control that you take once a week or once a year or once a month or whatever it is, you don't go to the doctor. And if you don't go to the doctor, they don't get paid. And if you just get a small device and it's good for 10 years, the pharmacies don't get paid. And everybody complains that they don't get paid. But the end result is we don't have a right to make a choice here. We have made the choice too far. It has gone too far. We have to do what we have to do. And you can't just have men get a vasectomy. That will not work. What happens with the vasectomy is that the chemicals, the chemistry that gives men excitement to have sex, which is a work, doesn't exist anymore once the testicles are gone. And that means they won't have sex with women. Just throughout the animal kingdom you can see that. And no, I don't have a vasectomy. I understand what it is. And that's more than enough. So you can't escape that way. You have to accept the truth that we are responsible for the things we do. Our truth decides, and our truth must be that there is going to be population control, or there will be no water to drink, and you'll war for that. There will be too many people to get any resources, and you will war for that. There will be people who say, we want war, we want to take what they have, we want more. And you cannot continue to fight with them because they want more. And they have weapons, and they're going to spend all their money for weapons, which is what they always do. That's what men do. Men choose war. That's their answer. And so consequent to that, I choose to support women as an alternate method of let's create the laws that rule this world and create the international forces that rule this world and make what we have to make so that we can survive. No, women are not better, and I found them to be not appropriate in so many ways, but nonetheless they choose law because they are forced by their physical reality to choose law as their protector rather than to choose weapons as their protector, as men do. The constant of men is, if I kill them, they won't be back to bother me no more. That isn't the answer. The answer is law. We have to choose for ourselves what we can and cannot do. Beyond, if you have a war and you kill 1 billion people, sounds like a lot, doesn't it? It's only 1 in 8. Look around you. Stand up 8 people, take 1 of them away, and that's how much 1 billion people killed will be. And that ain't enough to make a difference. So we're going to kill 2 billion people. That ain't enough to make a difference. Going to kill 3 billion people. Barely enough to make a difference. You want to be that? Go ahead. But the end result is going to be weapons of mass destruction, disease everywhere, cannibalism. There won't be nothing left. Nothing left. Just take a look at the war areas that you're now. Yeah, there won't be nothing left. Just chaos and tears. That's what you get with war. Endless failure. That's what you get with people who will not accept truth decides now. You have to accept truth decides now. You have to live with truth decides now. You have to understand that the law that we must start with is that, if we don't have a world to live in, if our world dies, we die with it. That's the truth. We die with it. We cannot live outside this planet. We cannot run off to some other planet. There ain't nobody going to Mars because there ain't no oxygen there, and you're not going to be able to take it with you. And it's just a plain fantasy. It won't get. It won't happen. Wake up. Grow up. At least try to grow up. Accept the facts. Investigate the truth. Identify what is or is not real. And choose better. No, you can't just play university as God and let them make all the decisions. They did make all the decisions. And our world is in crisis. Even if you can't see it, it is coming. It is coming. It is a real fact of life. This world is in crisis. Because there's not enough now. And you're eating the seed from next year. You're destroying the life from the oceans which feed us. You're corrupting and destroying everything.